Hi everyone, and welcome to this webinar run by the University of Reading on BTEC study skills. So a very warm welcome from us at the University of Reading. My name is Louise Izzard and I'm a Regional Student Recruitment and Access Officer at the university, and I'm based full-time in London. I'm also joined by my colleague with me today, and I'll just let her introduce herself now.
Hi, so my name's Rachel. I also work at the University of Reading and I'm a Student Recruitment and Access Officer, and usually I am based full-time on the Reading campus.
In today's webinar, we are going to just be giving a short presentation to start off with, all about study skills specifically related to BTEC and those of you in college.
So now we're going to be looking at a little bit about revision and exams and some kind of top tips for you. This doesn't apply to all BTECs, but there's a lot of BTEC qualifications which don't contain any exams as a part of them. So potentially that might apply to you. And maybe the last time you did an exam was when you were studying for your GCSEs, which could have been a couple of years ago by this point. So I'm just going to run through a little bit, a few really useful top tips for revision. So to start off with, it's all about finding a revision style that works for you. So for you, that could be writing key facts on flashcards and putting them up around your room so you can keep looking back at them. It might be taking past papers. It might be about making mind maps of key themes. It could be recording yourself talking about certain facts or a certain theme and then playing it back to listen. It could be repetition, so repeating something over and over again. Potentially being tested by family or friends, or it could be color coding. So the important thing is just to find a revision style that works for you and kind of suits the way that you prefer to kind of learn and how you take on information. There is a little bit of an element of trial and error in finding what works best for you. And you might find that a particular way you've revised for one exam might not work for another exam that you take. So it is kind of about finding what works in each situation. Another top tip is to start your revision early. So it's really important to give yourself plenty of time to revise. Starting early will mean you're less likely to encounter stress and that last minute cramming. I remember there was times when I was at university where I didn't start maybe as soon as I should have done, and then those late night library sessions aren't all they're cracked up to be. So it is worth starting your revision early. It's also worth planning a routine and kind of find out for yourself what time of day do you feel most productive. Are you an early riser, so you wake up, you feel really productive, and that's a good time for you to do some revision? Or like me, you maybe a bit more awake kind of when you get to the afternoon, you've had your lunch, and that's kind of a really kind of productive time for you. Or maybe it's the evening. So again, that will be unique to you. So finding out what kind of time of the day works best for you and when you kind of are able to be at your most productive. And then another one, so eating healthily and exercising. So you might be thinking, what's that got to do with revision? But there's many links between a healthy, balanced diet and exercise, which will enable you to be more energetic and more focused. It's also really important to make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Don't just live off junk food and coffee, as tempting as that might seem. And exercise has many health benefits as well. So getting outside for a walk, increasing the oxygen reaching your brain will make you more focused, and also exercising can help you sleep better. So definitely a win-win overall. And then another one, it's okay to take breaks. So taking breaks while you revise is really important. You might start to lose focus, so taking a break, doing something completely different, a change of scenery will really help you when you come back and continue your revision. You should also plan breaks into your schedule. It's better to do 5 1-hour chunks with a break in between, rather than sitting there for 7 or 8 hours solid revision. You're more likely to be less productive if you're sat there, just without stopping. It is important to say, there's no perfect formula for exam success. Just remember, with revision, the more you put in, the more you'll get out of it. And it's key to work out what works best for you. For me personally, when I was at college, I did a range of subjects, but one of them was a BTEC qualification, and that didn't involve any exams. It was all coursework and it was all practical, and I really loved that. I really thrived from that way of learning. When I was looking at my university choices, I decided to make my firm choice a university degree which didn't involve any exams throughout the 3 years. So I was able to be assessed throughout my time at university in a way that really suited me, in a way that I could really thrive from. And now we're going to talk a little bit about what type of learner are you. So there's loads of different types of learning styles, and obviously some people might be auditory learners, so they might prefer to listen to things. So as I mentioned earlier on, it might be that you like to record yourself saying some key facts and then you listen back to it, and that is the great way for you to retain that information. It could be that just discussing it with someone aloud, that helps you to remember something better. It could be that you're a visual learner, and I think for me this is definitely where I fall. You know, I prefer to learn by seeing, so you know, color coding things, that helps you remember. It could be that you color code depending on what you're working on. It could be you color, you know, highlight things in yellow if they're facts, or maybe you highlight things in pink if there's some really kind of important opinions from some research that you should remember. For me, you know, that's a really key way that I, you know, enjoy to revise, and that's a way that I was able to retain information when I was doing exams and revision. It could be that you're, you know, a tactile learner, so you prefer to learn through doing. So maybe, you know, you'd like to physically have a go at doing something. You know, some people I know when I was at university and they did exams, they would quite like to revise by physically getting up and doing stuff. So they'd go into the kitchen, and then they would do revise certain parts as they're walking around making a cup of tea. So then when they were thinking back to that topic, they could remember, okay, I was making, you know, I was boiling the kettle, and that kind of links to this piece, and then I was putting, you know, the milk in my tea, and that links to this piece. So there's different ways to learn, and it's all about what's finding the right way for you.